Hello everyone and welcome to another beer review. Now, today we're going to do something a bit different, as well as I'm in front of the camera today, which we try some different formats. Some people like them, some people don't. So we'll kind of mix and match for the next kind of few weeks and see how it goes. In the meantime, it's very hot in the UK. It's the kind of hottest weather of the year right now. And we have been doing some lagers kind of recently. So I thought I'm going to do something a bit different because this is going to be a Sunday review, although it's not Sunday, it's the day before. So what I was going to do, I was going to kind of mix it up and call it Hype, Tripe, and Confused. Now, you're probably thinking, what's this about? Well, we've done the Camden Hells review. We've done Foster's last year. And, well, we know it's one of the mainstream piss waters. But we've also got a craft lager. Now, a craft lager, this is what the real review is how does it stand up? Is it better than the Hype? Is it better than the Tripe? Or is it just completely confused? Because it's calling itself a craft lager, it's 4.7%, it's from the Butcombe Brewing Company. It's front centre, so it was good for the thumbnail. There we go. So the funny faces out of the way. So it's called Bohemia. Now, the reason why I call it Confused is I've done Butcombe other products, and one of the major things is they've got a bad habit of saying born in Bristol, born in Bristol. First of all, a beer isn't born, so don't try and give us that crap. I mean, that's just confusing. But by saying it's born in Bristol, people think, oh, it's from Bristol. It's not. It's actually brewed further down the M5 in Bridgewater. Now, Bridgewater is a special place if you've ever visited it. It's very close to a nuclear power plant. And I'm not going to say anything. I'm not going to kind of just look at the people in Bridgewater and you think, they're living next to a nuclear power plant. That's all I'm saying. But anyway, but there's some spiel in the back, so let's see what it says. It says, there are craft beers and then there's Bohemia craft beer. Oh, there you go. So it's now the king of the craft beers. This is where it's kind of heading. Brewed for the beatniks, created against convention. Here we go. Made by Mavericks. A bold, crisp, and a refreshing lager with a style of its own. In other words, it doesn't taste like lager. Because if it was a lager, it would taste like lager, which means it would taste like a lot of other lagers. But when it says it has a taste of its own, it means it's not tasting of lager. Right, prized noble hops provide distinct spicy, earthy and floral notes with a smooth bitterness. Born to stand out, we are the alternative. Drink it in. So it contains malted barley and wheat. And yeah, there you go. But they haven't said it's born in Bristol anymore in this bottle, but there we go. Boom. So, is this better than the Hype? And we already know this is overhyped because it just didn't deliver anything. It's supposed to be a cross or a hybrid between a Helles and a Pilsner, and didn't deliver anything that was as good as a Pilsner or a Helles lager. And then, of course, we've got the mainstream Bridgewater. That's basically brewed to high gravity and then diluted for each different brand. So there we go. So we know this is crap. So let's get started. Oh, look on the top of there, look, you can see what that is. That's a little bridge there, little bridge. Yeah. Isambard Kingdom Brunel. Famous bridge. Clifton Suspension Bridge. Although he did a Tamar Bridge down near Plymouth as well, so there you go, which was a railway bridge. But there we go, so we'll pour this out and we'll see what it's like. So that's that poured. Bohemia! Don't know why it's called Bohemia, but anyway. Right, we'll get the little piss water poured out. I hope to God it's better than the piss water. If it's not as good as blooming Foster's, then Jesus, you've got problems. Yeah, it's got a distinct flavour. Yeah, it tastes worse than piss water. So yeah, but anyway, but it's really hot. I'm telling you, I'm sweating like a dog with two cocks. I would use another analogy, or there's other different analogies I would use, but they would be classed as offensive, so I'm not going to say them. Right, Hells next. Camden Hells. It's such a wonderful lager, isn't it? Yes. Delivers everything that nobody wants. There we go. There we go. So they've all been poured. As you can see, the difference between the Camden Hells and the Bohemia from Butcombe Brewery in Bristol, brewed in Bridgewater. So there you go, a lot lighter, more kind of golden colour. And then, of course, let's compare it to the piss water. Same colour. Might not mean anything. So what does it smell of? The Bohemia. I'm getting some grain, getting some grassy notes. I'm not really getting so much kind of floral hops as I was saying. I'm not really getting spiciness. And yeah. I suppose a little bit of malt, a little bit of malt sweetness I'm getting. Now, with the Hells, getting grain, a little bit of acidity I'm getting to that, kind of a little bit of, how would you say it? A little bit of vegetable coming off there. And a little bit of malt as well, just a little bit of malt. So that's what you're getting. And of course, the mainstream piss water, a little bit of grain, malty sweetness, and that's it, nothing else. Right, so let's try the Bohemia from Butcombe Brewery. It's not too bad. It's lighter than what I thought it was. Listening to or reading the bump and the spiel on the back label, I thought, well, the bump was described as a kind of light ale rather than a lager, but there is lager flavours there as well, and the floral and spiciness of the hops was very subtle, and there is a little bitterness at the end, just a little bit. And maybe just a slight acidic finish as well, which just gives you that little bit of crispness, just a little bit of dryness. So let's break down the flavours. Start off, you're getting a kind of a little bit of malty sweetness with a little bit of grain at the front of the mouth. Then you're moving on to the mid-tongue. And in the mid-tongue, you're getting a bit more grain, but you're starting to get a little bit of hop build up. You're just ever so slightly you're getting accents of hops, and that's just a little bit of bitterness. It's a little bit of bitterness. Moves on to the aftertaste. That bitterness has increased a bit, but it's still quite subtle. And you just get a little bit of dryness there as well, a little bit of acidity there. But you still have that underlying sweetness coming from at the very start when it's at the front of the mouth. It's still just kind of ever so slightly accenting all the way through. It's not prevalent, it's not a strong kind of sweetness, it's a little accent sweetness there. But the acidity, you just feel a little bit of acidity just as the bitterness is coming in. And then, of course, it's just kind of finishing off. And it's a very light bitterness, and you're just getting that slight acidity, which is just giving it a little bit of dry finish. So, yeah. That's not too bad. After having a couple of sips, I'm noticing the malty sweetness is kind of building more at the front of the mouth and starting to kind of bleed into the mid-tongue as well. And you're losing some of that bitterness of the aftertaste. This is the thing when you basically review beers, you see basically reviewers and they'll take a couple of sips and that's it, they know everything about it. You've got to have quite a few sips, you've got to get your mouth acclimatised, you've got to work at it, and it will change. So basically once you get down to kind of halfway down the glass, what you're tasting is something quite different from what you did when you started drinking it. And it's a normal thing that what you taste in your first bottle or first can compared to what you taste in the next bottle or can or your second bottle or can can be quite different. And that's usually a confirmation once everything's kind of settled down, you'll probably enjoy the second drink better than the actual first one. The first one is just getting used to it. So it's the same. It's not too bad. It's a wee bit flat. So it is. And of course that makes a big difference. Because people think, oh, what's in the head? Well, the head gives you aromas. You're getting a lot of oils from the head. So when you're starting to drink, a lot of the flavours you're getting isn't actually from the liquid. A lot of the flavours that you're actually getting is also coming from the aroma. So if you don't have a good head, then you won't be getting the aromas. So a lot of times you'll start to kind of think, well, it's quite bland and tasteless and lacking in flavour because you're not getting the aromatics to kind of go with the actual flavour of the liquid. That's one of the tricks of beer making. So yeah, it's not too bad. Let's go on to Camden Hells. Now, compare them head to head. Oh, this isn't good actually, it's just not nice at all. The Bohemia is a nicer lager, it's better balanced, there's a nice flavour profile there. You can see what they've tried to do. There's been a recipe followed to get a kind of end product. They kind of knew what they wanted to achieve. And you can feel that in how it drinks, the flavours, the aromas. And it is actually quite nice. This, oh, I'm sure it's getting worse. Ooh, overhyped. Bordering and piss water. That's how bad it is. It just, why anybody would pay the money for it. It was just, I was a wee bit lenient probably. Tasting as it is now, I'm a bit more lenient when I did my review. But having it head to head with the Bohemia from Butcombe Brewery, this is nasty. It really is. It's just not nice at all. I mean, head to head, there's no comparison in flavour. This is tasteless and quite bitter in its kind of outlook. No, 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 no. Right, let's go on to this. Now, I'm saying this is piss water, right? And it is, it's mass produced factory piss water. But one of the things is, in the type of weather we've got, it's a 4%, it's easy to drink, there's a slight sweetness to it, it's kind of a little bit of kind of a malty sweetness. And to be totally honest, it's a thirst quencher. So on a really hot day, and you want something to kind of, have a beer to drink, but just to kind of quench your thirst, to something you can just down kind of quickly, it's actually not too bad from that point of view. Uh, there, there is a place for mainstream piss water. It's not something to be enjoyed and savoured, but if it's something to be gulped and just fired in your neck just to kind of hydrate yourself and just get rid of that dry feeling in the back of your throat and your mouth, then why not? Why go for something that's a better one that you're really kind of wasting and not really kind of treating it with respect? This type of stuff, treat it like water and just get it fired down your neck. Although it tastes a lot better than natural Camden Hells. So I went from the Bohemia to the Camden Hells, and like for like, side by side, Camden Hells just tasted awful. Then I'm going from the Camden Hells to the Fosters, and Fosters just seemed to be a nicer, more balanced beer. There is a sweetness to it. There isn't so much kind of hops. There's a little bit of grain. It's quite lacking in flavour, but what flavour it has isn't offensive and is actually quite palatable. The flavours you're getting from this, the Camden Hells, isn't very palatable. So the main thing is that Butcombe Brewery has actually made quite a nice lager, which is quite good because we've been struggling to find good lagers, and this isn't a bad one. This really isn't bad compared to like we did Madry, we did the Camden Hells. This is actually not a bad lager at all. Maybe a wee bit too sweet. Now, yeah, bit too sweet on the kind of front of the mouth and mid tongue. You're still getting that bitterness in the finish, but it's very light and very subtle. So, what would I give this out of 10? Out of 10, I'm going to give this. I'm going to give this a 6. It's actually not too bad. It's probably slightly above average, I would say. Maybe a little bit sweet, too sweet for my kind of liking, but everybody's different. Some people like sweeter beers. Some people like more kind of bitterish kind of beers. I'm more of a ale drinker. I don't mind lagers, but I usually tend to drink lagers to kind of quench thirst and just, cool down and more for kind of hot days. So yeah, maybe a wee bit too sweet for my palate, but yeah, 6 out of 10. The Hells, well, I would say the Hells has gone down in my estimations, and I think I gave it a 4. I would probably give it a 3, the way it's tasting just now in this company, out of 10. And that's for the Fosters. But kind of flavourless piss water. But it's cold, it's wet, there's a bit of beer flavours there. It's not too bad, very easy to drink, really easy to drink from that point of view. So I'm going to give this a 4. So out of it, Bohemia gets 6 out of 10. Camden Hells in this company gets 3 out of 10. And Foster's gets 4 out of 10. So, thanks for watching. Cheers. And bye for now.